You're about to see a fight. The combatants prepared themselves both physically and mentally for the duel that lays ahead of them. If you've ever seen a fight before, be it live or staged, chances are that you've witnessed it through film or television. Through the years, countless exponents of the martial arts have come and gone across our senses, but a select few have lingered in our thoughts, impressing us in one way or another, making us look at them more than once. Skill, form, strength, power, speed, and charisma are but a few of the ingredients that make a fighter stand out among his peers. But even among the top echelon, there are distinct differences that make each one unique. So, if you thought that all fighters were the same, think again and prepare to be educated.
First of all, I want to say that whether they're Korean styles, Japanese styles, Okinawan styles, Filipino styles, Indonesian styles, Thai styles, Burmese styles, it's obvious all the roots sort of came from China. And what I like to say is, separate of the mechanical execution of the techniques, I still feel that the Chinese principles are the most advanced, they're the most in-depth, they're the most scientific. And although most of the Chinese styles didn't change their manner of execution, they did pass on the principles.
Every civilization in the world has their own form of unarmed combat, but none have had the quality and refinement of technique that existed in China. Through the influence of films, most people believe that Chinese martial arts originated at the Shaolin Temple, which is far from true. Centuries of war against rival provinces and outside invaders gave China a rich background in the art of fighting.
Before the rise of Shaolin, all combat or martial arts were basically fairly formalized. ranks that were manoeuvred, they were trained, everything from the peasants up to the nobles. There were times of chivalric warfare, but certainly not in the style that we would recognise as true martial arts. Rigid discipline, fighting in ranks and in groups, manoeuvring, things like that.
Chinese martial arts were founded by an Indian Buddhist monk.
Bodhidharma was an Indian monk who traveled to China with the intent of transmitting what he felt was the true teaching of Buddha. Prior to that, he felt that the Buddhism that was being transmitted into China was a distortion of Buddha's original message. He supposedly came into China at 527 AD, and he entered from Canton, and then he traveled up to see the emperor Liang Wudi. And there's a very famous exchange between the emperor and Bodhidharma, in which the emperor, who had been a converted Buddhist, said basically, you know, how much karmic credit am I going to get for spreading Buddhism in China and for spending all this money on developing temples? And Bodhidharma said nothing. And basically, the emperor didn't understand what Bodhidharma was trying to explain to him in a very cryptic manner, so he was kind of angered by it, and Bodhidharma just left the court. From the court, he traveled up north, where he is said to have ended up at the Shaolin Temple. He started to teach Chinese disciples his version of Zen meditation, which is based primarily on sitting in a lotus or a half lotus position. And he found that over a period of time, these monks would fall asleep, or that they were getting very weak because they weren't getting enough exercise. So he developed a series of moving meditation exercises, or psychological and physical movements, that would complement the strenuous sitting. The Shaolin Kung Fu training, the physical art, was only an aspect of the training in the Shaolin Temple. It was gym class, so to speak. And that the ultimate goal for these Shaolin monks was not to learn how to kick ass, per se, but actually to seek spiritual enlightenment.
Using the foundation left by Bodhidharma, the Shaolin monks developed their fighting skills to unparalleled heights. Strict discipline, intense training, and a monastic lifestyle turned the monks into warriors of the highest degree.
Only the Shaolins and the monks who were forbidden to carry the weapons. So everybody else could quite happily tote weapons around and would therefore train themselves in their use. So the Shaolin monks, being unable to carry weapons by law, would obviously have to study some other way to protect themselves in their journeys.
Centuries after the Shaolin Temple closed its doors, a new monk appeared on the scene.
Hi, do you know who I am? I'm Master Killer? No. I'm Sander? No. I am Gordon Lau Ga Fai.
Gordon Liu was trained by his older brother, Liu Chia-liang, in the arts of five-animal kung fu and Hung Kun. The sincerity he puts in his roles, coupled with the authenticity of his fighting moves, has made him a favorite among movie audiences all over the world. The one big problem Gordon Liu faced in his career was that he became so identifiable as Monk that film producers or even movie audiences didn't want to see him as anything else. Fortunately, Gordon Liu doesn't seem to be upset by the stigma imposed on him. Being a devout Buddhist himself, he seems content with spreading the wisdom of Shaolin through the films he makes.
Do you remember in the 36 champion, I have training many things. I fight into the water and with bamboo and live, many things. It's a real training. Kung Fu is the art culture in China. It's a knowledge. I want to let this spirit and knowledge, that art culture, let all the foreign people know that. You know, when I play every action with spirit, when this, my arm is so, my side and spirit, give the people know that. Not only the pop, this, have tempo and spirit. When I slowly, also like Tai Chi, with spirit. Let all the people, this Kung Fu is not something like Taekwondo, boxing. It's not Kung Fu, it's a knowledge.
Like Gordon Liu, Jet Li found movie stardom playing a monk in a series of films called Shaolin Temple, which were produced by the Chinese government. Jet Li became the first martial arts action film star in China's history, as well as being a smash success in many overseas markets. His popularity was such that fans from all over China would come to his home, many of them walking great distances.